Hello,
And welcome.
we'll figure it out.
Hello, and welcome to We'll Figure It Out. We are your hosts,
Travis?
Derek.
Matt.
and myself, Blake. And today we're here to talk about something very interesting. Matt, what is our topic?
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Indeed.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
It's a Marvel Homecoming.
It's a title with triple meaning, which is amazing.
Also,
I was like, that's
I
crazy.
know
How
this
did you-
is probably going to be in the title, but spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
We'll start that right now.
Spoilers.
We'll start that
Happy
right now.
spoilers.
If you haven't seen Spider-Man, go see it, and it's great.
And if you
Good, that's
haven't
what you
seen
need
it,
to know.
if you haven't seen it, don't watch this video.
Yeah, and then come back and watch this video after you watch it because it's great.
But if you don't watch Spider-Man and then watch this video and then accuse us of not warning you about spoilers, you're dead wrong.
Exactly. What he said.
Moving right along. Travis, start us off with the topic.
How do you guys like the movie?
He's just like, what is he talking about?
How'd you like the movie?
I loved it.
Yeah, I also loved it.
I loved it.
Moving right along.
That's the
Okay.
end of that's the end of the
Time for
podcast.
us-
There's nothing.
I
There
There's nothing else to say.
Hold on. I loved it.
you go.
There we go.
4 for 4.
All right, thank you for joining us on this episode of We'll Figure It Out. And join us next time as we talk about
We're done.
space, the final frontier. Goodbye.
Okay.
No,
Actually, would be good.
actually elaborating. Here we go.
Okay, I have a... Well, not going to elaborate. I have a topic I thought of that I want to discuss.
Okay.
How about we talk about Spider-Man first?
It is about the movie.
Okay. It made it sound like you wanted to talk about something completely
No,
different.
this is about the movie. Well, might be.
Mars.
This might be in the future.
Okay.
It's about Mars.
Go ahead.
What year did this movie take place?
We don't have to talk about that. It's super confusing and no one knows for sure.
Matt.
If you,
It's 8
Exactly.
years
it
after
doesn't
Civil War.
necessarily.
We don't need to
no.
start with this. This is like
It
the only
says 8 years
negative
after
note.
the Avengers.
Yeah.
Which
The issue comes down to the fact that most of us have assumed the Avengers took place in the year 2012.
when it came out, but it seems like
it may not be the case. It obviously
Probably
isn't.
Yeah.
Because apparently, Civil War took place 8 years after the Avengers. And if it was 8 years after the Avengers, it'd be 2020.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So
it probably would move backwards.
the thought process most people have figured out is you look at all the pillars that are absolutes. Iron Man definitely took place in 2008.
yeah.
And we know Civil War definitely took place in 2016, along with Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
And we know Civil War was a year after Age of Ultron and Ant-Man. So we know those were all absolutes of where they took place.
Yeah.
Now, everything else,
Are we really sure?
They gave dates in this.
they gave the dates.
Yeah.
They acknowledged those movies.
Civil War had
Okay.
like giant
And Iron Man
cards.
3, we know, also had to take place in 2012 because they do a time jump in that movie as well from 1999
Oh,
to
yeah.
13 years later.
Yeah, and they even mentioned like that it was right after the Avengers, basically. So
Because
it's
it's,
confusing.
how
It's
else
like
is
it doesn't really work.
Well,
But we
so-
also know that the Winter Soldier assassinated Tony Stark's parents in 1991.
So,
And we know that they retconned Spider-Man into
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2.
And they put
Yeah.
dates on Guardians of the Galaxy, basically, with the weird time jumps in that movie. Like
No.
they said in 18.
Well, we don't... That's...
They're in space, so it,
We have to realize the Phase 1 films all took place around the same time.
it was all like within a really short
Iron
time.
Man took place, and 6 months later, Iron Man 2, the Incredible Hulk, and Thor all took place about the same week of time.
Yeah,
You can almost assume the modern day scenes Captain America probably took place around that same time.
it's really close to that. Yeah.
So Avengers could have very well taken place in 2008 or 2009.
yeah.
So let's just say, Marvel Cinematic Universe is this.
If
And
they-
this is your this is your brain trying to wrap around the Marvel Cinematic
it's
Universe.
super
It
confusing.
doesn't work. So what ends up happening is that the Marvel Cinematic Universe RKOs you into the ground and then beats you into submission because nobody has any idea what's going on.
Not quite. No,
Holy peaks, Batman.
it peaked a lot.
Then the
That
phase-
was a DC reference in a Marvel podcast. How dare you?
I will say one thing.
Don't cross the streams.
The Marvel Universe still makes much more sense than the X-Men Universe.
That's true.
Wibbly wobbly,
They
tiny
they
wobbly.
well they have time
Stuff.
travel, so it's fine.
Well, I mean, let's be real. The X-Men universe has like 2 different dimensions
Yeah.
and
Now you
time
see,
streams.
Thanos is going to come in with his gauntlet. He's going to use time travel, and he's going to
and Logan's
fix
going to
everything.
appear. And Logan's going to appear.
That would actually.
Well, no, Logan's from the alternate timeline, right? He's from the timeline where he got poisoned and blah 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 blah.
No, but Hugh Jackman said he would return to a Marvel film
God.
If he could be in the Avengers,
if it was a Marvel film.
then that would be really fun.
That would be a real.
Wait, back to Spider-Man.
Yes. I wanted to bring up something that I heard someone say that I thought was super interesting. Pretty much everyone across the board who loves Spider-Man thought this was a great movie. Pretty much everyone, because they're like, it was great. It was really fun. People who love the character thought the character was perfect. And then someone brought this up, and I was like, this movie got a lot of like stuff that it like could do only because the Sony films existed. Because if you think about this movie, think about everything that happened in Homecoming. If that was the first ever Spider-Man movie that came out, people would probably hate it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like.
They
They skipped over like the entire origin story
Mm-hmm.
because it was unnecessary. But imagine if there had been no other Spider movies, then people would be really upset. There was no Spider Bite. There was no bit of him learning what his powers are and freaking out about it. There's no Osborns. There's no Mary Jane. It's like wait a minute, how did you, well, at the end, it's not Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
Her
There's
name
not
is
Mary Jane.
her nickname is MJ, but it's not actually Mary Jane.
They
There's
confirmed
no
that.
like they cut out so much stuff.
Okay,
that
I would just like to say Zendaya's character's name in this movie is
it's-
Marijuana, and
no,
that's
it's
why
not.
her name
It's Michelle.
Michelle
Michelle
Wana. Her name is Michelle Wana.
Oh, how dare you!
MJ.
But I just thought that was such an interesting idea that someone brought up. That like, if this had been the first Spider-Man movie, then people would have considered it like probably a bad movie because they would have thought that there's so much stuff missing out of it.
Yeah.
So the only reason they are allowed to do some of the stuff that they did and leave out a bunch of stuff is because we've already seen it. We don't need to see Doc Ock again right now. We don't need to see Green Goblin again because we've already seen him twice. We definitely don't need the origin story we've seen twice. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we don't really need. And so, especially like the origin stuff, I think that's so interesting. That imagine if like I think any filmmaker would freak out if you told them like, hey, we could just like we can like skip the first half hour of this movie and everyone would be fine with it.
I agree.
Like, how would you like? Wouldn't that be such a weird thing for you to tell someone?
Yeah.
Like they're like that's because that's always the part that people try to make interesting and it usually doesn't work. You have to have like usually a half hour, sometimes more, of like setting up the premise of your movie, and then you actually get into the stuff.
What I did like about this movie, however,
And yeah, this one just like skipped it. And
yeah,
it was great.
it skipped it.
It didn't have to do
It
anything.
worked though. It did work
because
but-
people already know the
Yeah.
origins of Spider-Man.
Well, we
They don't
already
need-
had half an hour of Spider-Man Civil War.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
and
what
they-
I really did
but they
like-
didn't even have the origin there either. They had it in.
They mentioned,
Civil
oh, I
War.
got bit by
Yeah,
Spider.
exactly. That was all they needed
That's all
because
they
everyone
needed.
has seen. They like. There's no Uncle Ben.
The
They didn't
Spider's
even
dead.
say Uncle Ben's name. They just briefly alluded to him existing.
Look at it this way. How many
It's
people
really
really
cool.
wanted to see
Yeah,
Batman's
exactly.
origin story again?
I was just gonna say that actually. So I think that this is something that
another DC reference in a Marvel podcast.
I was gonna actually bring it up anyway. I think Marvel was like took a risk on this because I bet you anything that there were a bunch of people in that room when they were writing it saying, "No, we should probably have a flashback or we should have something," because some people might not know. And then the
And someone's
filmmakers
just like,
said,
"No, Batman versus Superman."
"Yeah, exactly." The filmmakers probably looking at DC were like, "DC could have skipped Batman's origin story easily because we've seen it 7 times already." They could have skipped Superman's origin story, but they didn't do that either. They put both of their origin stories in, and people got bored of it. So I think Marvel was like, I think this is the one we can skip. Everyone knows who Spider-Man is. Everyone knows how he got his powers. We have to put in Doctor Strange and all these other people because no one knows them. But for Spider-Man, I think we can just skip the first half of the movie and just start in the middle of the movie. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, but it worked so well because everyone already knows.
What I really loved that they did, though, was that they basically just took Spider-Man Homecoming and made it a spin-off of Civil War. Rather than make it its own independent film, per se, they made it a spin-off of Civil War. How they did that was they included all the clips from his involvement with Civil War, how he got recruited, everything like that. They showed him on the trip with Happy over to Germany and all that stuff. That was great. I loved that.
really
And
fun.
then they showed him getting dropped off at his house, and this is where it picks up. And it shows him not just acting as Spider-Man, but acting as like, oh, I'm waiting for my next mission. And he's just spamming Happy with all the, like, don't get me wrong, I've spammed people with text before. I might send, like, if I'm in a heated argument, I might send a sentence worth of, like, 12 messages. Like, 1 sentence, 2 sentences, just stating my opinion. He was sending paragraphs like, it's so great to be a part of the team, I can't wait for our next session. Like, daily, for months. And 6 months later, it said, I think.
He was excited.
Yeah, and again, that's what I think someone else brought up that I love too. It's like, this movie like felt like a high school movie through a lot of it.
Yeah.
It felt like he was like a kid in high school and he was
He
still
was
trying.
so awkward.
Yeah, exactly. He's so awkward.
Okay.
He's so like immature and trying to figure himself out, and that works really well for the character.
You know it's a good character when you can feel embarrassed for them.
That's also
Yeah,
true.
that's...
And that brings
good
me
night,
like
yeah.
I mean I think we could talk about our favorite parts of the movie. I'll start with mine, and then we can go down. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just to say, because we all, like I said, we all agree that we
No, you're
thought
on
it
a
was
roll.
great.
Keep going.
I'll just start with mine, and then we'll go after.
I haven't heard Matt say 3 words.
How you doing, Matthew?
I'm good. How are you?
Do you want to start with your favorite part?
Matthew,
of
the MVP for closing the kitchen door.
Yes. Actually, my favorite part actually was at the very end, where he turns down membership on the Avengers, and the reason why is because that to me perfectly captures who Spider-Man is as a hero. Because here's the Avengers, the whole movie Tony's telling Spider-Man, hey look, this is beneath our pay grade. We don't deal with people like Vulture and these guys. Like, that's just not what we do. Well, Spider-Man kind of learns, of course, of this movie, that's what he is. He does help the little guy, but he would also help take out the galactic threat with Thanos, but like he would also take this little person out down the street
With a
their
bicycle.
To me, that perfectly captured that in that moment. Why this is, why the best version of Spider-Man on the big screen so far, and it captured why he is in the comics. Like this is a Spider-Man who, who's been a part of Avengers comics himself many times. Though he's like, you guys are, almost you think you're all that, but really like it's the little guy. All it counts. This is why we do this and things. And for Tony to sit there and say, oh well, it's beneath us. Like, well, Spider-Man's like, you know what? Maybe the Avengers are a little just too big for me. Maybe I need to focus on helping the little guy out for a while and things. And that to me really captured who he is.
I loved how Tony Stark, Pepper came out from the. He was like, "No, there's no reporters or anything in there. No, it's fine. Go wait in the car."
That was really
and then
funny, yeah.
they were trying to reverse psychology him into staying, and then he just walks away, and then Pepper opens the door. Where's the kid? Well, he actually made a very rational and adult decision and impressed the heck out of both of us.
It's like, well, what are we going to tell the reporters? It was
Happy you got that ring?
That was
I had this in
really
my
funny,
pocket for 8 years.
It was actually really good.
Okay.
And that was hilarious.
You
That
literally
he said,
just stole my favorite part that I was about to say.
is
That
that
was
good?
like,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Go ahead, you can go ahead and talk more about that part. Why you love that part.
Go.
Iron Man came out in 2008. That's just how great it is that they were always like, are you kidding? I've been holding this thing since 2008.
In his pocket without a case, just in his pocket.
It was great to see Jon Favreau again. He's
Yes.
been gone for a
It's
while.
always
And it was
good to see
really,
Jon
it was
Favreau.
really funny to watch him be in this movie. But that was your favorite part of the movie, or was that?
I think that honestly
really good.
was just the inside joke.
That
It was
really good.
hilarious.
What about you? Like, what do you think?
Actually, it's in the same scene. It's when Pepper opens the door, and then she goes, "Where's the kid?" Well, actually, he made a very adult and mature decision and impressed the heck out of both of us. Like, he wasn't expecting it at all, and then he goes, "Happy told him to wait in the car."
That's
That was hilarious.
Actually,
No,
I think one of my other favorites would probably. Sorry, I'll give it to him.
yeah, I'm actually going to think about a different scene because we're all giving the exact same scene.
Okay, so what
but the other
yeah.
scene that I would have to say was probably my favorite was, and it just captured who Spider-Man is as a hero, was when the Vulture is flying away with all the arc reactors in the case and his suit was about to overload. And he actually said, "Don't you get it? I'm trying to save you." And then his suit exploded because obviously the radiation from the arc reactors interacted with the
alien tech.
Yeah.
the alien tech, and it exploded the Vulture's suit. And then he ran into the fire despite it being hot and saved him. That says a lot about who Spider-Man is as a character. But honestly, I think the only reason he saved him was because, well, it was his girlfriend's dad. There's a little bit of conflict of interest there. Had it been me, I'd be like, bye. Pew!
No, but that's pretty much a thing with Spider-Man that's very different from all the other heroes we've seen in the Marvel Universe. He's doesn't like the other heroes don't seem to have much of a problem with killing. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to kill.
Except for Captain. No, not Captain America.
No, he'll kill too.
Yeah,
I was trying to think who's the pacifist hero that I was watching recently. Oh, that's right. It was the DC hero. Batman. Batman hates
Bring
killing.
up DC and Marvel podcast.
How dare you?
And another scene I thought actually was really well done.
Yeah.
That was my art.
Is where when the door first opens up and it ends up being Vulture
really
in the
good.
house.
It was
And that,
really
that
good.
whole sequence, moving
That
forward, all the way
was-
to the school dance.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
You
so
can feel the
tense.
tension in the room. It's like
Yeah.
you can tell, like, oh my goodness.
I was actually going to mention that as my favorite scene, and
Oh,
the reason
so
why I
tense.
like this movie a lot more than other Marvel movies, even, is because watching that scene as I was sitting there watching, especially the part when he's sitting in the car with him,
Mhm.
and they're both figuring out, well, he figured out immediately as soon as he saw him, obviously, but then Vulture figuring out that he's Spider-Man and getting ready to talk to him, and he's like, "Oh, you go inside. I'm going to talk to your friend here. Just give him the old dad treatment, whatever." And I'm like, "That's terrifying. I don't know what's going to happen." And he walks out and they get really serious. And I love the way that scene worked out.
Yeah.
Because it made me realize, it makes you realize how young of a kid he is.
Mhm.
And also realize, how, like you said, how this could only happen in a Spider-Man movie. If this well, first off, no one of their heroes would be in this situation like this
No.
anyway.
Yeah.
And if they were, like Iron Man or Captain America or any of them would probably be like, I can take this guy. I'm going to punch him. I'm going to fight my way out. I'm going to do whatever.
Mhm.
He sat there and you could tell he was terrified. And he was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to agree, I guess. And he had to sit there and think about how to get out of it. And he's like, how do I set this up so that later on I can take him out on a better... Because if I don't have my equipment and my stuff, I probably can't beat him.
Plot twist: he left a tracker in
Yeah,
his car.
exactly. Which is why, because he had to, as the conversation was happening, even though he was terrified, he was like, okay, how do I think? What do I do? How do I get out of this? And then he's like, okay, I have to pretend like I'm going along with it.
What if
and
he
then drop
actually
this here.
just dropped his phone? Like, what if that was completely
No, you could tell
accidental?
he knew what he was doing because he immediately went into the dance and said, "Track my phone."
What I
And
liked
then
about
ran
this movie as well is the fact that
He got sucker punched
shows
walking out
this,
the back door.
this pull of his life back and forth of like here he is at the school dance with the girl he's had a crush on for all this time. He wants to be there. At the same time, he knows I have to deal with this guy. And that in Washington D.C., he actually was there. The big debate there, but at the same time, he knows I have to deal with this. At the same time, make it back in time for this. But he's getting pulled from both ends. It's really what Spider-Man was all about in the comic books. He was always being pulled back and forth.
Yeah.
Of being the hero or being his normal self, and he can't have both sometimes. And
All right, I think I found a new favorite scene from myself that's a little further from his.
Yeah.
It's a scene I called way before the movie came out. The boat scene.
yes, you did call that out.
I'm like, I really want Spider-Man to like save a giant boat or something in New York.
I
But I was thinking about the video game.
in the video game when they talk.
I'm pretty sure we have that on a
We
clip.
have a
in
footage of
form.
I have
like
to
7
find
months
it.
You need
ago
to pull
from
that
me
up
saying,
for this
I want
podcast.
Spider-Man on a
Actually,
boat.
here, what we should do right here is edit this part out and
Editing
actually overlay that clip.
Do you realize how many
It's a
podcasts
lot
I
of
have to go through to find
It's worth it.
We'll find it.
It is worth it.
I mean, how many podcasts we recorded? Like
I
10?
will help. Like if you,
Like,
if
honestly,
we will,
that's 10
I will
hours.
scan
That's
all
true.
of our podcasts with you to find that clip and just edit over.
There's
this.
some that definitely don't.
I hope we were recording it was just me talking.
It might have been.
Oh man, that'd be terrible.
I
But
know
yeah,
you talked to me about it. If we recorded or not.
talk about why you love the boat scene.
Okay, because it just showed like him, like a lot of his power. I guess just like it was kind of like the train scene in a way, with like going everywhere and. I don't know what I'm doing.
Doing all this spider. Go web, go. Go web.
Fly.
Fly web.
Flip.
But
Flip.
like going through, and then even in the end, he still couldn't do it. He had to have. Well, he didn't have that. Iron Man just kind of showed up, and then right
No, he
afterwards,
needed
does
that.
like
He
another favorite thing where he's like, "You're not even here. You're just in the suit again." And then
That was
Comes
actually
out.
a really cool moment.
Yeah.
I
Surprise.
wasn't
And then
expecting.
Tony Stark goes full dad mode on him, and
Yeah, that was actually.
I actually liked how Tony Stark was being more of a dad figure to him. Like as soon as the FBI was there, I was like, yeah, that was Stark.
Yeah, it was
Like, I just
they
had to
a
think
plan.
about it, but I liked the fact that Stark was like, I was the only one that was believing you because I know you're a good kid. Like I liked that Tony Stark went into a dad, and he was like, if you're nothing without the suit, then you're nothing. And he said, God, I sound like my father. Like I loved that.
It's ironically coming from Tony,
Yeah,
who
exactly.
without the suit would really must be a billionaire
Well,
by
that's
himself.
not true though. If you think about it, because in Civil War he hung up all the suits. Like
no,
he,
Iron Man.
yeah,
Iron Man
Like three
3.
times. He did it.
No,
a
no,
lot.
no.
He did it a
I'm
lot
actually
of
talking
different
about in
times.
Civil War how he said, or who was it that said Black
Please
Widow
tell me you have
said,
a suit
"Please
on."
tell me you have a suit," and he was like, "Oh, I have a 3-piece, something or other," and I was like, "That's hilarious," because I know what that is.
I'm a civilian. Something.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm a non-combatant."
Yeah, but he still had a suit in the movie.
He
like,
had,
Yeah.
but for the most part, all he had was this, and then
Yeah.
he was just doing all the tracking and everything
But
like that.
going further back, Iron Man 3, when he had to infiltrate the area and did not have a suit on him,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and he had he went to Home Depot and improvised a bunch of
That was
weapons.
hilarious.
He did do that, but
Yeah.
for the most part, you cannot be Iron Man.
It's pretty true.
You couldn't save that fairy without that suit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure Tony Stark could find a way.
But I
Well, all
think-
those little
yeah.
rockets.
It was supposed to be a metaphorical
See, I
kind
kind
of
of want
like.
to see
yeah.
that'd be a cool thing. See Tony Stark MacGyver a way to solve something just
Yeah.
using his mind.
He did.
It was kind of
Iron Man
ironic.
3.
No, but I mean something on that
Well, he did
scale.
get captured.
a
He had to
bigger
get saved by a suit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. He
that
did
is
end up
true.
getting saved by the suit again.
But back onto a topic. I kind of want to add to the interrogation scene between Vulture and
love
Spider-Man.
Mhm.
I kind of want to add to that. It actually showed that in the Spider-Man universe, even though he knew who Peter was, like he knew he was Spider-Man, he had empathy on him because he knew he was a kid. Before, he didn't have a problem with killing him. But after he knew he was just a kid, he was like, I'm giving you a chance to walk
You
away.
saved my daughter's life.
You
and
saved
all
my
that.
daughter's life. Family's the most important thing. I'm giving you a chance to walk away.
I think Michael Keaton did such a good job of playing the Vulture as a villain to make sense and
Mhm.
not be like, again, of the Marvel villains, he is the most like down to earth for sure, and
Yeah.
he's just a guy who wants to make money.
Nobody
He's
cares
not,
about the little
yeah,
guy.
he's not even trying to
Yeah.
like do anything bad. Like he's not like trying to take over the world
Or kill
people. He didn't want to kill anyone. He's just like, if you're in my way, I'll kill you because I want to survive. But really, all I want to do is just sell these weapons to people. That's all I want to do.
Support his family.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Even
So
the guy he killed, it was accidental.
yeah, exactly.
He's like, wasn't that supposed to be like the?
Anti-gravity gun.
Yeah, everything kind of made sense
thought that
for
was
me
the
with all of his
anti-gravity.
To
character
me, it
decisions.
worked
He
out
didn't-
because Vulture could have very well been, pretty goofy to see. Cause
Yeah.
basically, just off the comic book version alone, he's a cool villain, but like it could come off pretty weird. But they get it so well. It's like you really grounded him to a point. Like you could believe in him. You can, you can almost sympathize with. Okay, I can see where he's coming from.
And this is how anarchists are made.
yeah, it might be.
Plot twist: we're just demonetized.
Yeah. I did want to talk about another one of my favorite scenes really quick though first, which is after I watched the movie, I started thinking specifically about this one scene and then about the Marvel Universe as a whole, about how sometimes for me when I watch the Marvel movies, occasionally there's moments where I'm like feel very emotionally into it, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just like this is fun action or it's comedy or it's whatever. There's nothing like in the character not always, but sometimes there's just not anything with a character moment that feels really powerful. I think this movie might have had my favorite like emotional thing that actually made me feel like very emotional in this, and I was like, it might be my favorite moment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in terms of like just feeling emotional, which was when he was trapped under the rubble, and I was like, that's very it was very powerful. Like he's sitting there and he's trying, like the camera was put in a place where it makes you feel claustrophobic, and he's
fantastic.
You don't
acting.
feel like exactly. Yeah, he was crying and he was pushing and he was bleeding and
he was screaming.
Yeah, he's
He acted like a kid, a 15-year-old kid being stuck.
exactly. And he's like,
he
I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I don't think I can get out of that. I don't think I'm strong enough. And he starts saying like, "Come on, Peter," and he can't do it. And then he's like, "Come on, Spider-Man." And I was like, "That's amazing." He's like has to pretend. He's like, "I'm going to pretend to be Spider-Man right now." Instead of being Peter Parker, because Spider-Man is stronger than me, and then he pushed. I was like, "That's really
that
cool."
was fantastic acting on his
so
part
good.
as well, because
Yeah,
like
that was
to
his
get
best
that
moment in
like
the movie.
childish scream out of him in that scene. Like I was thinking, if I've had friends that have buried me in sand before, right up to my neck, and it is the most constricting feeling ever, and to the point that I start hyperventilating. And I've never been claustrophobic, like
Very
water park
concerned.
rides. He's hyperventilating right now. No, but like. Going down water park rides, all that stuff, like confined spaces, I'm cool with that, I'm at the point where I love that stuff now. But if I feel restricted, like I can't move, I start to freak out. And I think he perfectly captured that in the mind of a kid, how that would feel. Because I know if I was 15 and a lot weaker than I am now, it'd be terrifying.
It was,
Speaking
It's
of
still
another thing
terrifying
about
now.
fears, he's afraid of heights.
That was hilarious.
That was a really cool scene too.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
like, again, the whole time.
Okay, that was like, I can't imagine watching that in 3D, like that scene where he looked down the,
That would have been pretty cool, probably, yeah.
like looked down the
Washington
Washington Monument. It's like,
Oh.
wow, we're high.
Nope.
So I love the thing where he's like, please work, and like just jumped off, like went around the helicopter and.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was awesome.
I really want there to be like some bloopers where like he just hits the ballistic glass and boom. I want that to be a blooper. I want there to be a blooper with the Vulture where he just lands and he says, "Guess what? I'm Batman." I want to see
That would be
that,
really
but I know
funny.
they can't because it's trademarked. But it would
do
be
it anyway.
hilarious, or just like,
Yeah.
"I'm Mad Bat." No, that's also trademarked. But something with Michael Keaton just like
That would be really good.
referencing that, or even in a Deadpool movie. The next Deadpool movie, I want them to reference this. I want him to go, "Man, it's almost like that time that Batman was actually the Vulture," and he just looks
Yeah,
at the camera.
He probably could do that. Right?
probably could.
He still doesn't.
Fox would get away.
There was-
or just
yeah.
or it would just be like, oh yeah, Michael Keaton. How many bird rolls does he have now?
all of the bird.
That's hilarious. But a bat's not a bird.
It's close enough.
How
It
many
has
flying rolls does he have
flying
now?
rolls. But,
Except Batman
yeah,
doesn't fly,
Is it bats fly?
flat bats can fly sometimes.
but Batman can. Man Bat can,
Man bat,
but Batman can.
man bat. That's for the
No, he just falls with style.
Batman Bat.
Batman bat. I did want to talk about some of the
Man
best
Bat with a
like
Batman costume.
there's a lot of really good comedic moments. We can again if you want to mention some of our favorite ones, but I think my absolute favorite thing that made me laugh the most was when the whole moment in the gym when he's watching the Captain America video, because the first thing is the Captain America guy's like, "You're a gym teacher," and he points over here and the just stands on the wrong side, and you're like, "Come on, guy." He doesn't care, and then he goes, "I'm pretty sure this guy's a war criminal now, but whatever. We gotta show these things." So, and I was like, so, and then he came back with detention, and then at the very end, it was really.
Why are you even here?
detention.
You don't have detention. I like sketching people's torment.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
also
like,
good too.
"Jeez."
So, You got the attention.
I think that was
So,
the best part. That was
you
the
got
funniest part of the
detention.
movie for me was that.
Maybe you messed up. Maybe you made a mistake. You know, just the fact that they had all these Captain America videos just made it even more like
so funny.
these superheroes are part of their natural lives. Like
yeah,
that's
everyone
what I love.
knows who Captain America is,
Yeah.
and he's like an American.
I
hero.
loved how we got to see them through a civilian's point of view because we got to see it through Peter Parker's point of view. Before he was Spider-Man, this is the stuff they were watching.
Yeah.
I loved that. I think my favorite comedic point, though, actually, Matthew, what's your favorite comedic point? We haven't heard you talk for about 10 minutes.
10 minutes. We talked about it.
Okay, 2 minutes. Go.
Probably the interrogation scene when he's interrogating Aaron Davis when there's the voice changer thing.
Oh.
So
And he has a nephew.
that entire
Yes.
thing was so good. That
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Miles Davis.
That's
Miles Morales.
Morales
is
Davis.
a
Close
jazz
enough.
Morales.
musician from the 20s. But close
Aaron
enough.
Davis is also a character.
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah. And Miles
Prowler.
Morales is his nephew,
Man, I
who
do-
they referenced.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's really funny. But I just love the moment when he's sitting there and he's like, it'll dissolve in 2 hours. And he's like, what? I have to go somewhere. And he's like,
I got ice cream.
he's like don't, you're a bad guy. It's okay. You deserve this.
You're a criminal. You deserve it. Bye, criminal guy.
Yeah, do you think they referenced it because
Oh, he's gonna show up.
no, like as a backup, just in case like Andrew Garfield down the road can't play Spider-Man anymore? It's like, well, we have another Spider-Man.
Andrew
Well,
Garfield
in case
doesn't
Andrew
play
Garfield
Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield can't play Spider-Man anymore. They have
Plot
to find a
twist:
new
Andrew
guy.
Garfield is no longer.
Well, I saw
Spider-Man.
an interview they had with Kevin Feige.
What?
They asked him about
Yeah.
Miles actually out there. They said it's more so to let you know he could be out there. He's but
Yeah.
whether or not we actually ever do him remains to be seen.
It's just that they want to have a character
Wait.
like you.
It's
they've
an
talked
Easter
about
egg
him.
that may or may not blossom.
Yeah.
Or just
Wait,
hatch,
Wait,
not
this
blossom.
was Andrew Garfield, like some cutting edge, like
You thought it was all-
anti-aging technology.
Yes.
Like with
What?
Michael
You know what I
Douglas.
would love to see? I would love to see just Peter Parker crash through the like an apartment window, and it's just Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire playing video games on the couch, and they look at him like, "Hey, you're that
That
Spider
would
guy."
be a really good
He's
comedic.
like
That would be
Spider-Man.
No,
And
they're,
then-
they're playing Amazing Spider-Man 2. Or
Yes.
like, no, they're playing Spider-Man 2 video games.
Yes,
yes.
that would be
Just
hilarious.
argue about which Spider-Man's
No.
better.
I want to see like the multiverse like Spider-Man that they have in the comics. Where, like,
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
bring in Andrew Garfield and Tobey
Bring it all
Maguire.
back.
Yep.
They totally could do it, and it
Oh,
would be
no.
awesome.
That would be pretty great. Do you have any comedic moments that you like that we haven't mentioned yet?
Oh, I'm trying to. Oh yes,
Hang on.
yes, I have it.
Do we know this number of podcasts? Like which number?
No.
We have no
Okay.
idea.
I just want to make a note in case we're watching this in the future, like us are watching this in the future. If Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire show up in another Spider-Man film, and he crashes through the window and they're just sitting there, called it.
It's really fun.
Okay.
Okay, he just saves everyone from in the monument.
Mm.
Now's your moment, Peter. Kiss her.
I think
That was
Karen was so
hilarious.
good the entire time. Just, would you like me to activate instant kill mode? And
No,
so,
no!
I never want instant kill mode. Why would you even have that?
Karen, what's
No,
up with you
but
and the insta-kill?
It's like referencing the first Spider-Man
It's
movie.
so
It's just
good.
like,
yeah.
it's like, now's your moment, Peter. Go kiss her. It's like, no. Falls.
Oh, I do love that.
Okay.
I love whenever, like, he was saying, yeah, activate enhanced combat mode. Okay, activating insta-kill. His eyes go red. He was like, what? No! And then, okay, this was great. Thwip thud.
It's just like that didn't. No, yeah.
Karen,
when he
what
was,
the heck was that?
I think the best moment of that though is still when he's on the golf course and he's trying
Yes.
to swing and he's like, oh, man, there's no. He just runs. He's like, this sucks.
Oh, yeah.
He's just running through the golf course.
I love that
with
the
nothing
references to
swing
Ferris
on.
Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
That was good too.
That was great.
Now,
Oh man.
I feel like for part of the movie, he was not as strong as he was in Civil War. I don't know, just
so
seemed
like
like
strength-wise,
Yeah.
actually.
I wouldn't even say that because remember what Tony Stark said. He said, "I hope you guys defeat Cap." He said, "If Cap wanted to, he could have crushed you." So technically, he's not as strong as he thinks, in my opinion, or he just doesn't know how strong
No,
he is yet.
he wasn't saying that. It was saying Cap was going easy on him because Cap.
Yeah.
knew he
Yeah.
was just-
Exactly. So he appeared stronger in Civil War because the character's going easy on him. Hey,
Yeah.
it's a little kid.
Well, I
you
mean,
know?
like catching the entire like airplane thing and.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's interesting. I think that like they made it a point that it is motivated by certain things. That obviously, like I said, when he was crushed under the rubble, he
Yeah.
almost didn't make it out of there. But then he found the strength. But it's not like always. And that even the comics have brought that up too. It's not like he doesn't always have super strength. It's just
Mhm.
like when he needs it, basically.
He easily just like calling Winter Soldier's metal arm. It's like, you have a metal arm? That's
Well, it's
awesome,
like in Spider-Man 2, he was losing his ability due to being, stressed out all the time and stuff. And you'd almost could assume that Peter, if, depending on the situation he's in, like when he's being crushed underneath the rubble, for a time, he probably forgot he even had superpowers in the first place.
That might happen too.
All he's focusing on is the fact he's being crushed alive. Then he remembers, oh, wait a minute. I'm Spider-Man. I can I can lift this off my back.
What I missed in this movie, though... Actually, let's think about what we covered. We covered comedic moments, our favorite moments, what we thought of the film overall.
Yeah.
I think we should probably get into also what we missed out of this movie that we thought should have been in there. And for me, that
or
was...
didn't like in general.
No, that for me, there's actually something really important to Spider-Man that should have been in this film. Anyone want to take a guess? No. I don't even care that they went off script with it, because the MCU, I love what MCU's doing. It's not exactly just all the comics. It's not based 100% on the comics. I love what they're doing, and they're going in their own direction. What they didn't do right with Spider-Man in this movie, I'm going to be devil's advocate.
Okay.
Where was the spider sense?
It was very subtle.
Yeah. References that they didn't want to show this as much, like make it. It's still there, but it's not as like.
He uses it in Civil War.
But I know that's what I liked. I liked the comedic aspect of it, where he goes, "What's that?" and then he looks. Like I love that. And then in this movie, they didn't do it at all. It was almost like he was blindsided. Like he walked out the door, got blindsided, didn't see anything coming. He had no spider sense whatsoever.
So I thought something else about this movie that they didn't necessarily show, but I think they might have. It just might have been a reference. Him slowly like filming everything and stuff with his like a video blog for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been an early reference to photography later.
I think
on.
so.
Yeah. Because again, that's another thing that I think people who, again, if there haven't already been so many Spider-Man movies, people probably would have been like, well, where's his reporter job? Where's the photographer, J. Jonah Jameson, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think they're probably hoping to do that stuff later on. But I think it's a lot of stuff that I would have been upset was missing if I haven't already seen it. I think that the Tobey Maguire movies did a lot of things really, really right. And because those were already so good and have been done already, I'm okay with doing a whole bunch of new stuff that we haven't seen yet.
You have to realize is Spider-Man's world, in the comics even, is far bigger than what we saw in the old movies.
Yeah.
It's a lot more, too. I saw someone comment on Facebook once, oh, well, they ruined it because there's no Daily Bugle or Mary Jane. Like, well, if you think Spider-Man's whole world revolves around those two things, then you're completely wrong. I mean, Mary Jane's not even there half the time sometimes. I mean, it's like Daily Bugle, he doesn't work there anymore in comics. I mean, it's like, these are all things that were a big part of his character at certain points of his life, but, like, they're not always there. Yeah. His spider sense, it's not always necessarily used at all times, and it depends how they wanted to show it. It could be more of a subtle thing. Some people argue, well, it should have gone off with Ant-Man at the end with Ned. It goes off when he's in danger.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that.
But
I got so mad at that last scene. I'm not even gonna lie, because it went from only his best friend knows that he's Spider-Man. That's kind of cool. Somebody finally knows Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Plot twist. Now Tony Stark knows he's Spider-Man. All the Avengers know he's Spider-Man, and now Aunt May knows he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I kind of think that, I don't think they should have ended the movie that way. I think there could have been a better ending.
Yeah.
I'm fine because that's true to the comics.
Yeah,
they found out who he was.
But I kind of like the idea of a little bit more. Yeah, it was kind of a weird way. It was a weird way, and it was
well, they said the way they wanted to do
it
it is because they said it forces them to create a point. So much like how they did with Iron Man 1. In the comics, no one knew who Tony was, Iron Man, for years. That wasn't until the Civil War comic, like in 2008, when they finally revealed to the world that Tony Stark was Iron Man. That was something they did for the movies. Yeah. And things. For this, they said that forced them, when they kicked off in the MCU, when it's birthed there, that's a different direction altogether. Yeah. So right this is they still it's not a ploy. She does now know. Yeah. And it's a creative point that they have to now figure out for themselves. How's the next movie going to tackle it? Yeah. And they don't always know the answer right away. Let's force ourselves to be creative.
I don't think I was so much mad at the fact she found out, but I was more or less mad at the fact that he didn't notice the open door with Aunt May standing there when he walked towards it and then turned around to the camera. He walked straight out the door.
Well, she wasn't there when he faced towards the door. She walks up when he's facing another way.
What were you going
to say? Civil War. How self-contained do you think that thing is? Do you think it's still going to have repercussions further on? Like, I'm looking at that press thing he was almost in, but he wasn't. That could have been a reference to when he revealed himself to the world.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Like if they had that, because Cap is still on a different team and everything. I think there's still going to be a lot of issues going back and forth between the heroes and stuff.
Well, I know an interview they had with the writers who do, I can't remember their names. There's two writers in general do most of Marvel's bigger movies, and they're doing Infinity War, and they did Civil War and stuff. And their comment was, Civil War will carry through to the Infinity War. So right now you have a team of Avengers. There's really no one in the team except for just pretty much a team in name only. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the Avengers are torn apart.
The question is though, thinking to the end of Civil War, when Captain America broke everyone out of prison, what if they're already there? What if the government is so blind they don't even realize, hey, the Avengers reformed and we have no idea about it?
I doubt, because even in their comments too,
Yeah.
were the fact that you'll have to deal with the repercussions of Tony and Steve's decisions in that movie.
Yeah.
In the new
But
movie.
obviously, because we know Thanos is showing up, they're basically gonna have to deal with it because they need to. Because
Yeah.
they're gonna realize, oh crap, there's no way to do this alone. We have to get every single person we know, which is why they've already confirmed like every person that is a superhero in the Marvel universe that we know about already is going to be in this movie at the same time.
No,
Does that include the
in
Fantastic
movies.
Four?
No, they're not.
Because I would love to see
That would be-
Chris Evans in 2 places.
2 places at
Just
once?
flame on. Hey, wait a minute.
No, as movies only, because as
Yeah.
they're very clear. The TV universe is in its own like parallel universe to the main.
Weird, like it's
It's
supposed
there,
to be
but
in the
it's
same
not
universe,
there.
but they're not going to call it. But I mean, honestly, do you think Daredevil would really be able to do much to
Yes.
Thanos?
Not necessarily
Probably
to
I
not.
Thanos.
think he can do about as much as Black Widow does.
I guess so.
Ghost Rider?
I mean, yeah, Ghost Rider would be helpful, right?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fun.
No.
Like some of those people
Bring
they
in
could
the
call.
humans, bring in
Black Bolt would do quite a bit of
Yeah.
damage to
They
him.
could do some, yeah, but I don't. That they've already. I think they've already.
The
confirmed, like,
Gifted?
I don't think any of those people are
No, they're
gonna
not.
come in from the TV series.
Bring
So
in the
which
Gifted.
is a little disappointing. I kind of wish they'd bring in some people, but
Bring in the Agents
there's already
of
like
S.H.I.E.L.D.
20 people in that movie though in the
No.
Avengers Infinity War.
I want to bring up something while we're slightly on topic.
Okay.
Slightly.
Slightly on topic.
We haven't discussed the Inhumans trailer yet, have we?
No, I don't think so.
We can do that. Well, okay. So first, we should end up our discussion on Spider-Man. I think. Then,
Yeah.
and we
I
can
want
go
to say one
into
more thing about Spider-Man. So I
Okay.
didn't like about it
that.
actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
You didn't like something?
That's what I didn't like because I liked it, but I didn't like it.
Okay.
You didn't like something about
His
Spider-Man.
suits, they had the AI in it. I'm not a fan of
It's
that.
too fancy.
I,
Because the reason why is this. On one hand, it's realistic. Tony Stark built
Yeah,
it for a
he
kid who's
built
in
it.
high school. We couldn't come up with it. My opinion, though, is in the comics, that is part of Peter's brilliance.
Is
He's
he's
a
trying
little
to be
crazy
by
in
himself.
suits.
Yeah.
And to me, the fact that it has an AI in it, I mean, it's to me, it's like it's cool. But to me, it's like I'd rather have Peter make his own suits. He'd have an AI in his suits.
But that's the thing. In the end of the movie, he defeat the villain without any of the fancy
And,
things.
and he did. What I like to see happen is say they do 3 Spider-Man movies within him in high school.
Yeah.
And they get to move forward after that. I like to see him kind of end like the 3rd movie off with him like
I could
making
see
his
that.
own suit, something like I want to kind of become my own guy.
Yeah.
Take some things he learned maybe from Tony, like I'm gonna make my own suit now, and kind of be a little different.
But it was cool. They still showed him making his own webbing.
Yeah, I like
chemistry
that.
Class.
Yeah, that was cool.
Lifting up the entire lockers, the high
Yes,
level.
that was cool.
Because I think the character of the suit was pretty funny. Like, I
Yes.
was into that for sure.
I definitely was. I didn't like dislike it. I just felt
Yeah,
like
but I understand what you're saying. Though.
Yeah.
Like that is kind of a big part of who he
I
is,
did
is
like
that
how they
he's smart
explained
and
how his
he's-
eyes moved finally.
Yes, I did
They
like
that. That was
finally
cool.
explained
Okay.
that, and it was just because it was actually an actual suit.
Yeah,
yes.
that is pretty cool.
Alright, so I think we should sum up our Spider-Man review
Yeah.
and
I
end
think
that, and then we could probably move on to
yeah.
the next
Yeah.
topic if you want. So I think we should all just give our final opinion, a brief summary of the movie, what we thought, and a rating 1 to 10. Starting with Travis, we'll end with Matt. Travis.
9.5 out of 10.
9.5 out of 10? Okay, go into an elaboration.
It was good. It was really good.
We loved it. Keep
Well
going.
done, Travis.
Use your big boy words.
It needed more Tony Stark.
More to I think I don't know. I think that
No,
there was. I
I'm
think
fine
there-
with less.
Yeah, I think
I'm
a
less
little,
is
a
more,
little
less
bit less
is
Tony
more.
Stark.
I know. See, I know. I'm the minority
Hang on,
here.
hang on,
I love
hang
Tony
on.
Stark.
Let's look at the title. Spider-Man. There wasn't Spider-Man, colon,
And also Tony Stark.
and Tony Stark. It
And
was
also-
Spider-Man.
Spider/Iron Man. It's okay.
Iron Spider.
I was okay with the Iron Spider with me.
No, you see, I understand why all you guys are on
Yeah,
that.
alright.
I love Tony Stark like Matt loves Spider-Man, and that's why I
can
love
see
to
it.
see.
But
Like Matt
would,
probably
we,
wanted more
would Matt go
Spider-Man
watch?
in Civil War.
But would Matt go
I
watch
did.
Iron Man 3 and say it needs more Spider-Man? No.
They
But
probably would.
that's like so.
You probably would. Think about it.
It's like Civil War. Everyone probably wanted more Spider-Man, even though it said Captain America Civil War.
Well, there was so many people in
True.
the movie. No one should have called it Captain America. It was like barely. It was a lot of Captain America, but it was also lots of everyone else.
Yeah, very true.
I would definitely give it like a 9 probably. I love it a lot, and I thought a lot. I think I probably like Spider-Man 2 a little bit better, and maybe even the first Spider-Man a little bit better than this, even though I love this movie a lot. But I definitely think, and I haven't heard, that's the thing that's crazy about, you hardly ever hear this about movies, that they've already agreed that this is the best Spider-Man. Like, Tom Holland is better than it. Why are you looking at me so weird?
Why is he looking at you so
I
weird?
don't understand what's happening anymore.
Why is Matt
I'm
looking
gonna
at you
keep
so
looking this
weird?
way. But it's just so crazy to have everyone like pretty much immediately agree. Like we've had one movie, like he had Civil War, and he was really good, and then they came with this movie, and then everyone who saw this movie was like, yeah, he was the best Spider-Man that we've ever had, like easily.
Okay, so what we're gonna do at this point is on the screen it's gonna be black and it's gonna have Times New Roman and it just stares intently with the asterisk.
Probably, yeah. What do you think, Blake? What are your final thoughts?
And it's at this point that they're gonna black out my face and all the words that I'm saying and just put useless garbage. I thought it was a really good movie. I thought it might have gone a little bit too off point as far as Spider-Man goes. Like Matt was saying, it was more or less Spider-Man with Tony Stark. Like, it was Spider-Man that was created by Tony Stark. It wasn't Spider-Man that created himself. I mean, I get it. It was a spin-off of Civil War. It was meant to show how Spider-Man came to be better thanks to Tony Stark. But at the same time, Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think, could have had a little bit more Spider-Man creating himself, like Matt was saying. It didn't show him creating his own suits. All we saw was the first, when he went to a boxing match as Spider-Man. He was just wearing a hoodie and all that stuff. And it's just, I felt like Peter Parker could have created a better Spider-Man than Tony Stark could have. I give the movie, on a movie scale, I give it a 9 out of 10. As far as the Marvel scale, I would say probably a 7.5 out of 10, strictly because it was lacking so many key elements of Spider-Man to me.
I want to say one thing on your thing about making the suit. Let's not forget, he's a sophomore in high school. Think back to when you were a sophomore.
But so is the Spider-Man we know and love in the comics.
And that was part of his brilliance. He's a high school student who's able to pull that off.
And he was a genius.
Yeah, and look at he was able to do the lenses and everything that he made for all that to focus. But think about probably what resources he has. He doesn't have a job. He can't.
Dumpster diver.
Yeah, and
They could have made it work if they wanted to.
they could have, but
I wonder if I can see why they did it the way. And it's more realistic in one side.
I do get that.
On the other side of it, though, I do kind of wish.
You look at the other movies, and it's like,
maybe you could make this on. Maybe what they should have done is have Peter raid Tony's.
What happened to Flash? Can we address that real quick?
Actually, literally, that was my hand raising up. I think that I wanted to bring up Flash. I think it was a really cool. I wanted to say that I love it actually because because Marvel's going their own way in this new universe. I think that it was a really interesting thing because it's like
they made him shorter, wimpier, and more annoying than the other Flash.
Yeah, which is kind of more of a modern.
Yeah,
but they still used him more than other movies ever did. So.
Yeah, and they made it a really interesting take on it, where they're like, okay, Flash traditionally has been the jock bully guy who's I'm picking on him because he's a nerd. I don't like nerds.
Still works,
which would have worked, but I think I like this better. It's him.
It's more of a modern bully.
He feels and he feels like a real character that feels like a real person because he's I'm feeling insecure because you're better than me at what I want to do. Right. You're the same. You're like me, but smarter and better, and people like you more.
I was also really
he's
surprised.
actually more of a nerd than Peter Parker.
I was really, really surprised that Marvel got away with saying the P word so many times.
They can.
I'm sitting there, and there's 2 rows behind me.
Yeah,
2 rows behind me. There was easily a 5-year-old kid listening to. When I say blank, you say Parker, blank, Parker. I'm this kid's going to walk out of this theater screaming that. And his parents are going to have years of mental damage to repair.
But I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was a really interesting take on that character. And I thought it was kind of fun.
That was cool.
Matthew, what was your final thoughts?
What happened to MJ? No, I'm just kidding.
No. I thought that was fine too. I think it was kind of interesting.
I would say I'd give it probably 9.5 out of 10. Now, because to me, the reason why is because it really kind of perfectly summed up who Spider-Man is throughout this movie. Even though you didn't necessarily get the origin story things, Tom Holland in many ways, and probably due to the script as well, it perfectly summed up in many different examples as to why this is Spider-Man, why we liked him from the comics, why we liked him in general. You get to see the character kind of grow and learn, and all the things in his life kind of come crushing down around him and stuff. That's what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. And if I were for me personally, I would say it's one of my favorite Spider-Man movie. Now, I'm actually one of the few people who prefers the original Spider-Man movie over Spider-Man 2. And that to me, because I think Green Goblin worked better than Dr. Octopus did. I love Doc Ock, but to me, William Dafoe just killed it as Green Goblin.
He was really good.
And things. But anyway, I would say for me, Homecoming is definitely my favorite one. Mostly because it didn't really have the spectacle that those other movies did, but it had more heart, which I think in some ways is more important. You can always get the huge, sequences on the bridge or the train or whatever later on. this one to me focused on who Peter Parker is at his heart, and that to me is what proved him to be Spider-Man.
It's a good thing for him too, because Marvel, and again, we've already seen in plenty of other Marvel movies, they have giant action scenes, and even if the action scenes weren't as big or as great as the other ones, I think that this movie, because it was the Spider-Man movie and because he was in high school, and it could do a lot of things that no other Marvel movie could ever do, and it did them really well. So that's why it was so cool.
So, we know that here's how Thanos is going to be beaten.
Okay.
All the Avengers are going to come together.
Yep.
Thor's going to put on his magic belt.
The magic sword. The magic Thor belt.
Yes. And
Captain America's going to use the new sword. Shield.
Captain America with a sword. I dig it.
Just grab Wonder Woman's sword.
Yes.
Like, you have a sword
Another
and
DC
a
reference.
sword and a shield? I think I want that. It's like, why do I only have a shield?
The sword and the shield.
This whole time I could have been carrying a sword too. I would have been more powerful.
Yes.
I mean, he used to have a 1911.
He doesn't use guns anymore after the first.
Yeah, he's like, he's gone off of it.
He needs a ranged
He
weapon.
just has a shield.
You know what he needs to do? Is
a shield's kind of.
he just needs to like get frozen again, let Bucky take over, and Cap needs to go on a killing spree. That's what needs to happen, because it's modern day America world. We need to switch out the A
He's a man
with the anarchist symbol. That's what we need to do.
Well, you're just promoting anarchy so much.
For our cast that does not know what he just said, he did not say Hail Hydra.
Nope. This is not the... I don't know.
Come here. There's something on your back. Hang on.
These things are happening. I
I'm
feel
scared,
like
dude.
we're in the middle of something we shouldn't be in the middle of. I think that's all we have to say.
I think wait, Inhumans. I want to cover that really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I am actually going to remove myself from this because I have not seen the trailer.
I mean, neither have I. You guys can go ahead.
Wait, you haven't?
No, I haven't seen it.
How dare you?
No,
How dare you.
I'm interested, but I'm not like super interested that I wanted to look it up, so I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
You guys go ahead and tell me about it. I'll sit here.
Let me just grab this real quick.
Why are you taking my phone?
It's for important reason. Oh wait, no, I can't. I can't unlock it. Never mind.
Awesome. That went so well.
Inhumans.
Inhumans. What did you think of the trailer, Matt?
I'm interested. I like the Inhumans. I liked them way before even Shield started using them and stuff. I don't think the trailer got me interested about the last like 30 seconds of it. But like me, I think this year is they didn't really show. They captured some cool points in the trailer. They just didn't really show like enough to really kind of get you like interested to know what these guys can actually do. It's very political, and if you're not into that type of thing, it's like what. It's like I think you need to see a little bit more of what these characters can actually do, especially Medusa.
Yeah, I want them to show more of their powers a little better. I mean, they did Black Bolt really well, but
yeah, it had it's very interesting. I like the IMAX. Cool, that's cool.
They need to do something like show more.
I think they, to me, you had so many. The royal family alone has such a cool amount of powers, and you didn't really show any of them use any of their abilities in the trailer at all. It's just kind of like, why aren't you utilizing what you got? You have Crystal here; she's an elemental. You go showing her all sorts of awesome stuff. Medusa has her hair abilities. Black Bolt, they briefly kind of showed him with his.
He like grunted. And
everything but like you have all the other characters who do a lot of pretty cool stuff, and he didn't really show that too much in the trailer. Now again, if I know the characters, I'm excited for it. I know what they can do, but if you didn't know anything about them and you just kind of sat there and like, what's this? A lockjaw looks great.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I agree with pretty much everything you said. I want them to show more. I'm excited. I feel like they need to get me a little more excited.
Yeah. Because I guess since we watch Shield, we've been interested in humans at least as a group, and things we're excited from that standpoint. But as this is the royal family, and these are the big guys, you think they would kind of advertise it a little bit more, than what they did.
Yeah.
But more trailers, I'm sure, will come soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, so I think that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching. I'm Derek.
I'm Travis.
And I'm Matt.
And Blake has left the building.
Bye, guys.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have. Patience. Sometimes patience is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little. Seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing.